I'll say, as I told earlier, that dealers are the real linchpins over here. They are the one who closes the deal with the customer, right? The few challenges that they had was, one was the price of the tractor as a whole. If I'll talk about the industry, the MRP was always a gray area for the customer. No, no, matlab, none of the companies were publishing any price because there was exchange involved in almost 70% of the deals. So everybody was inflating the price of the tractor, and then they were delivering the same in the market by even inflating the exchange price or the price that they were exchanging the older tractor of the customer, right? So I'll just take an example. If actual market value of an old tractor is 2 lakhs, the real value is 6 lakhs, right? Of a new deal of a new tractor. The dealers would used to do, they would purchase the older tractor of the customer on 3 lakhs rupees, almost a buy up of 1 lakh. Even the customer is aware that it's the market value is 2 lakhs. But what they'll then do, they'll hike up the price of their new tractor. And this is always a gray area, but nobody was helping any of the dealers, any organization. No, but everybody was afraid of publishing the price, as they thought that they will feel a dealer resistance from their channel partners, and it will ultimately lead to lower volumes and sales, right? But as an organization, what step we took a year back was, we took in confidence all my channel partners. We consulted them, showed them that this is the gray area, and we could be one of the first movers in this case, right? And we, as an organization, were the first in this industry to publish the price of all the tractors in the market on our website of all the tractors. So, and we had another achievement. What we did is one nation, one price. So if you in tractor industry, if you go, what happens is every state, the price of the same tractor, there would be an increase, there would be a decrease, there would be a variation in the MRP, right? So it happens a lot when customer, if his son is studying some other area, he'll take a value from X dealer, he'll compare it to Y, and then there was a mistrust that was building up in or confusion that was being created in the market that this organization or the dealer is cheating, basically, right?
Yeah, right.
It's not about the organization that they were picking, but they were linking it to dealers. So all these nuances that we picked it up from the dealers, our communications with them, and we published two. We did two things. One was price transparency, where we published the price, and then we had one price, one nation, one price of all our tractors. The second challenge as a dealers, what they had was financing, right? As I told earlier in one of the discussions we had now, where almost 70% of my sale or the amount of my sale is being done where the money is coming after the tractor is delivered to the customer, and the time period was earlier 6 months. Now we as an organization are able to bring it down to almost 21 days. But this is one of the, again, was one of the gray areas where dealers were not getting the finances, the availability of the finances in the rural areas was a challenge, because as I told earlier, key customers, many of the customers, they don't have the CIBIL score even, right? And then giving a credit to those customers, and again a 90% financing, like almost like we are seeing in car industry, we are almost getting 90 to 100% of the finance, right? Similar expectation is now the customer is having, because as penetration, the awareness that is being developed at the customer and even the rural market, they're expecting almost 90-95% financing from tractor point of view, because the amount is huge. Most of the customers in the rural market are having a two-wheeler which cost around maybe 1 lakh, but the tractor again compare almost is 7 times costlier to that, right? For them, arranging that amount of money or the margin money at initial stage was a challenge, because it was all dependent of the crop, how much crop, what is the crop output is there, how's the price are being fluctuated in the market. So it was all, I think so, it is all monsoon dependent. So many factors are there, right? So we as an organization help the dealers again to make at least 4 to 5 finances available in each of at each of their locations, right? This is the second place that we helped our dealers. Third was uh, the customers, again, how to bring in the more leads, right? The challenge that again this dealership had was how we are able to segregate what type of customer or at which point I should get in touch with my customer. What type of activation should I do, is going to affect that customer, particular customer. So we have built an AI model where we are tracking the entire customer life cycle journey, right? And we are able to pinpoint exact touch points that for that particular customer a dealer has to do, basis again our understanding or the optimization that we had for that particular rural market, that this point of activation if we are going to do at this touch point or this point of time in his life cycle journey, this will increase your probability of conversion, right? Fourth was they were not able to identify how much value they can take out of the customer, right? So again, we had built in a model that we are also in process of. This is something that is going on where we are able to showcase what is the value or the book value that the customer is bringing in his entire life cycle journey to the customer, to the dealer. It's not only the it's not only pre-purchase, pre-sales, post-sales, but also the number of referrals that he's giving, the benefit that the dealer would have through those referrals and getting conversion. So all these we are combining at one location, and we are able to pinpoint the exact value so that c- from dealer point of view, it is very clear what are his high profile customers and what level of engagement they have to do with those customers to have a consistent uh, affinity with those customers so that you remain at his top of mind consideration. So these are some of the points that we are able to help our dealers in getting a deal close or getting a top of mind awareness in the customers for our dealerships. Yeah, right. Right. So I'll answer. I'll also add into this point. We had a few programs, right, that we created. Again, the boardroom pitch was very, I'll say, was very clever. We had a tiered structure that we created for local mechanics. I was talking about a particular program. I'll bring it out. We created a tiered level structure where he'll move from silver to gold to platinum category, right? A tiered structure was created for the local mechanics, right? But it did not resonate with them because what we missed out is a very simple your program or your communications should be very simple. It should be understood by the guy who is even not educated, who is not from the field. So a clear clever message has to be it's very pertaining in the market. You cannot make your communication more complicated just in excitement that I think as a professional you may feel out that yes, this is going to create excitement in the market, rather it creates more confusion in the market, right? So you have to be the communication has to be very simple. Secondly, another touch point was another uh, one of the other learnings we had was the UI that we made for our dealer team. It was having a lengthier process where we are asking the particular dealer sales guy to capture more and more information of the customer. What we were trying or expecting is we will build again all these touch points or the data points that we'll have in our AI model so that a prediction increases. But what happened is instead of building on that, the amount of data that started flowing, the amount of leads that started flowing started decreasing. The program that we was thinking of, that this lead, the constant lead remains constant. We'll get more data points so that we'll build in more our that AI engine being more developed. What happened is our the lead generation still came down to half of it. So it all got for a toss because we were thinking that we are smart enough, we'll predict the sales for the particular guy. Instead, this guy, he was smart enough, stopped entering the inquiry because it was like 2 or 3 minutes he has to spend to update just the profile of the customer in the app. Yeah. So whatever you're saying or doing in the market, it has to be clear, simple, and it has to be quick to go. Because I believe the patience level of a human being is drastically reduced now, right? We don't have that the patience level. Even if you see what is happening in the today's market is in social media, it's just the reels 10 or 15 seconds reel that are gaining in the market. If the reels are more than 20 seconds, you will also lose interest and you move on to something else, leave apart any video, right? So this is very clear, clear message, simple message, and it has to quick to go.